Hi everybody, Victoria from Bloom here. We're on our Tuesday expert takeover, and today we're speaking to Samantha Franchis, relationship and parenting specialist. So we'll just wait for everybody to join us. Hi Mama's Mindfulness and Louisa. Let's do Charlotte, Becky, Stacey, Amy, Ebony and Jenny Harrison. Hello. So do drop your question for Samantha in the comments and I'll read them out. We have got an anonymous question as well, which I'm going to ask Samantha when she joins. So we'll just wait for more people to join. Hi Lana, hi Sarah, hi Kelly. Just checking. Hi Justine. How's everybody? Let me know how you're doing on this very cold day. Freezing today. Got my heater on in my office. So I'm just waiting for Samantha to join. And when I see that she's joined, I can get her in on the live. Hi Nicola Sherwood. Hi Bloom Cheshire East. Hi Nikki. Mrs. Haas. Yes, Mrs. Haas 13. So there we go. Hi Ellie. Hi Samantha, she is there. So let's try this then. Are you ready, Samantha? It's either going to work. It's been good so far. Hi Gemma Ashworth, how are you? I'm going to do the split screen and I'm going to go live with Samantha. Here we go. Hi Charlie. It's dropping a wave. Do drop some comments. Let us know how you are. Excuse me. So we're just waiting for it to join in on the live. Hello, how are you? Which works?
Hi, how are you?
Hi, you okay? Can you see me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Excellent.
Oh, thank you so much for joining us, Samantha. It's brilliant because I'm sure we've got lots of questions and it is just a topic, especially with us being stuck in the house as well, with a lot of, or not, with a lot of our other halves. So I thought it'd be really good to just talk about it really. A few weeks ago we had a mum in our group ask a question about an issue she was experiencing with her partner, and it brought so many comments of parents feeling exactly the same. So I thought, right, that'd be really good to get someone like you, an expert, in to talk about it on a live. So thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
That's okay. You're more than welcome. So do you want to give a little bit of information to everybody of what you do and where to find you, that kind of thing?
Okay, so I am Samantha Franchis and I am a parenting and relationship specialist. So I help mums primarily in terms of kind of reconnecting with themselves, building their own relationship with themselves, helping mums improve the relationships with their children and the relationships with their partners as well. I'm also a holistic therapist. It's essentially where I started off. And I still have my holistic business, but I kind of use everything and bring it all together in terms of my mentoring and coaching. And you can find me on Facebook, Samantha Franchis Positive Parenting, or Create Wellness with Samantha Franchis.
Brilliant, that's great, thank you. So what in your opinion, or what do you find is the most common problems that when people come to you with relationship problems, what generally is it? And we're talking about after children generally. I would think that's when things start to happen and things change, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I would say the most common issue that I hear from a lot of my clients is the feeling of not being fully supported or supported enough or understood by their partner. And then this kind of feeling of disconnection that happens within the relationship as well, especially after having having a baby.
Definitely. And there's a lot of things going on as well anyway, isn't there? Because, you know, you're tired, parents are tired, so that immediately sparks issues, doesn't it? You've not got as much patience. And then do you find many sort of issues with jealousy, or, you know, I've heard that before about, you know, a baby's come in and then the dad's maybe a little bit, you know, because the mum's spending all the time with it. Does that happen? Do you ever have any of that? Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's unbelievably really common, because it's kind of almost, if you think about it in a way, it's like bringing somebody else into a relationship and then having to split your time as much as you can do between all these different people now, you know. So yeah, that's a common one.
Wow. And what's your advice for that then, if someone was going through that?
I mean, usually it is the men that find themselves feeling a little bit pushed out because mum and baby are coming together, they're trying to bond, and the world revolves around baby now. So something that I always advise my clients to do is to try to integrate dad in more often, because you have so many benefits from that. It takes the pressure off of you. It allows dad to step in and engage and connect in the same way that you are as well. It allows you both to feel like you're a team, and you're in this together. And it also creates time for you guys as well to work as a team, which brings you guys together in terms of bonding. But I always say as well, you know, when you can be together, like do things that are for you two, like how you guys were before baby. You know, if you're going to have a sofa night in with a movie and a nice dinner, you know, have those moments as well, because it's really easy to disconnect and forget when there's a new baby, you know, but that does create disconnection. So I would say, as much as you can, bring you guys together, try to work as a team, and remember to keep that connection, the love, the romance, whatever you need in the relationship as well.
Yeah. So like date nights, try and keep that, even though it's, you know, staying in and having a takeaway and watching a film, to encourage that as much as possible.
Absolutely.
So a lot of what we do, it's all about well-being and postnatal mental health as well. So that can really affect your relationship. It did with in my situation, because, you know, for me, I felt my husband wasn't being supportive enough, wasn't doing this, he wasn't doing that around the house, and effectively it was probably a lot of that was what was going on with my own mental health at the time. And we didn't speak for a long time. We lived in the same house, and it nearly broke us up basically, but we were very lucky, you know, we've been together now 14 years and we're now married. So, you know, there are a lot of couples out there when they have the baby that don't make it through that first year. And is it that first year? I think it is, isn't it? Yeah,
it's the first year, because it's the year of adapting to this massive change in your life, like, you know. And I think a lot of people, you know, especially when you have things like postnatal depression, mum is going through her own, like, this massive transition. Her body's trying to readjust to this massive thing that's happened in her life, and everything is trying to kind of be like, whoa, like getting used to the whole situation. And I can speak as well personally, like I had postnatal depression quite severely. I had it for 3 years after I had my eldest. But it is something that it's almost, it's a difficult one, because a lot of the time mum doesn't know what's really happening with her. She can't fully communicate it or articulate it in a way that dad can maybe understand. It's difficult when you kind of don't fully understand what's happening within yourself first, for you then to be able to say, well, look, this is how I'm feeling and this is what I need you to do or support me with, you know.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely felt that. I knew really what it was that was causing me to feel that way, but I just couldn't communicate it. And sometimes it was like I didn't even want to. It was like I just shut down, and I was just, you know, I was so distant. So it is really difficult, isn't it?
It is.
We've had a question that's coming in anonymously, and I did giggle a little bit at it because I hear this so many times, and it's the and I shouldn't laugh, but the mother-in-law thing. So your face. So we've had this question, and it's coming in anonymously. My mother-in-law isn't happy with the amount of time me and my baby spend with her side of the family, like the daughter's side, not the daughter, the daughter-in-law's side of the family. The mother-in-law has been making comments that like her son and the new family see more of the daughter-in-law's family, and that it's, you know, it's affecting the daughter and that kind of thing. So a bit of jealousy there. But what's your advice on that? Because it is natural when you have a baby, you get straight to your mum, don't you? You want your mum all the time.
Yeah, it is a difficult one, because like exactly what you just said, you're going to go to whatever makes you feel secure and safe at that time, you know, whether it's your own mum, whether it's a family member, whether it's a friend. You're going to kind of navigate towards that person or persons that makes you feel the way you desire to feel at that stage, you know, with having a baby. Yeah, I hear the mother-in-law and the whole opinionated mother-in-law thing a lot. And it's a difficult one in the sense that you don't want to offend the mother-in-law. But I think one of the things that comes up a lot is a case of boundaries as well. And a case of placing your self-care and what feels right for you first. It's not to say you can say, you know, you should say to the mother-in-law, oh, well, that's your problem. I'm going to do me, you know, I'm important here. But it's the case of considering what she said, saying, okay, I hear that. I'm going to take that in. I'm going to see what we can do about that. But always remembering that this is your time. This is your time to enjoy your baby, and it's your time to adjust, and it's your time for you to feed yourself with whatever and whoever it is you need at that moment in time to help you get through, especially the early months. You know, it can be frightening for a lot of new mums out, you know. So I think it's always good to kind of have respectful boundaries there, always listen, kind of taking what people are saying, but it's not necessarily a thing of where you have to take it on and go, oh gosh, you know, now I feel really pressured to please this person. I feel like I've upset this person, or I need to do this, or I need to do that. I always say, you know, especially when you just had a baby, your needs have to come first. That's it. Especially if you've got baby blues, especially if you've got postnatal depression. If you don't want to be around somebody for whatever reason, or you feel like you're not kind of gravitating towards that person, that's okay. There are other ways of doing things. But what I would say is, don't feel like you have to, you know, the dreaded should. I should do this, or I should go there, or I should bring the baby, you know. Go back to you and see what feels right for you. Because it's all about your wellness, your especially mental health, you know, and that's what counts.
Yeah, definitely. So should she perhaps, you know, should she speak to the husband or the partner and say to him to, you know, should he say anything, or what would you say?
It depends on the dynamic of the relationship, isn't it? Yeah, it's really dependent on the type of relationship you have. If you feel you can talk to your partner and say, look, this is how I'm feeling at the minute. I just feel like I need this space of time to just do whatever I need to do here and kind of serve me for the moment. Do you think that's possible to kind of put that across to your side in a way that's coming across as very loving as well? And the partner can, then why not? You know, ideally it would be a good idea for the partner to do it. Because it takes the pressure off of you as well, and that's an additional pressure you just don't need.
Yeah, definitely. Let me we've got a question. Let me see if I can work out how to open it. Oh, there we go. Okay, so I won't read your name out just in case, but how do you know what are normal feelings post-birth and what feelings you have that make it for postnatal depression? Oh, that's interesting. I think I can sort of comment from my own. It's let me read it again. How do you know what your normal feelings post-birth and what feelings you have what feelings you have that make it postnatal depression? So for me, I thought I felt like I didn't feel the way I should do. If you know what I mean. I didn't know how I should feel, but I knew, I felt like an enormous sense of that the baby's handed over to me, and I'm meant to instantly love it from the moment it's born. And I questioned myself whether I did or I didn't, which sent my brain, which obviously I obviously did, but that's how I started, and I started questioning every single thing that I was doing. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Like, even for me as well, I knew that there was a massive emotional disconnection with my daughter. I knew I loved her and I did everything that I needed to do for her, but I could not connect on a deep emotional level with her. That then caused a lot of pain as well, which kind of is like a vicious cycle that you end up in. But I think with a lot of people after baby, you know, hormones are going through the body and all the chemical changes that are happening. You have the baby blues, where you might find yourself emotional, you're crying, just really fatigued as well. You know, you may not be getting a lot of sleep. These are kind of normal things to be experiencing, but I would often say that if you actually start to feel really emotionally disconnected, if you're getting feelings that you think, oh gosh, that doesn't feel right. I mean, there is no right or wrong in terms of feelings. If you're feeling something within you that for you doesn't feel good to you or doesn't feel like it's you, then I would always say flag that up anyway. Okay? Because especially with me personally, I went for 3 years with postnatal depression and nobody really spotted it until right at the end, you know. So it's always about speaking up. Like, if you're feeling that you can't connect with your child, address it as soon as you can, whether that's speaking to your partner, speaking to a doctor or your midwife or healthcare practitioner, whoever that is, because it's easier to catch it at the beginning before it spirals into something that feels a lot worse.
Yeah, definitely. And it's being able to have that communication with your husband or your partner as well, isn't it? And being able to,
absolutely,
you know, to if you need to cry, whatever you need to do, just have that conversation so that they're aware all the time. Because if you just bottle things up and you just carry on, a lot of the time they may not even know that they might just think, you know, well, she's in another mood or she's doing this, and you just need to communicate all the time, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. Because I hear this from a lot of my clients as well. He should know. And I have to say to them, well, actually, he's not going to know unless you actually say, I feel like rubbish today, or I feel like I just want to cry, or I cannot physically get out of bed today. He won't know that unless you verbalize it. You know, they may sense it, like you say, they may think, God, she's in a half, I'm going to steer clear, or, you know, things like that. But they won't actually know unless you say it.
No, definitely. And another thing I'd say, what the difference was, I felt, I can only describe it as like a cloud, a constant cloud over my shoulders or over my head. That's the only way I remember it. Nothing, I didn't feel happy at all, and nothing really could make me feel happy. So that's how I knew that there was something, you know, something not quite right. And I just think you just know that you're not quite right, don't you? So, and just reach out to anyone, to your parents, your partner, whoever, isn't it? Doctor. Brilliant.
Absolutely.
Do you put more questions forward if you have any questions? So what else do you think? Do you have any advice for your top pieces of advice for new parents, perhaps first time round parents? What's your advice?
The number one thing I would say is communication. Okay, and that's not just in terms of communicating with your doctor or whoever around you. Most definitely communicating with your partner, and also communicating with yourself as well. Like, you're going through this massive change, and it's good to be able to kind of have some kind of communication within and awareness within yourself. So often with new mums, I recommend to them, write stuff down, journal, get a diary, log how you're feeling each day, you know, log what's happened, anything to just get any stress or overwhelm from here outwards. And again, communicating with your partner, you know, your partner wants to enjoy this experience with you. He can't enjoy that experience with you if you don't communicate with him and let him know and let him in. Because men, I don't know if you've noticed this, the masculine energy tends to, when they feel a bit of a prickly energy or thinking, oh gosh, she's in a mood, they may dip the toe in, but they tend to kind of pull away because they don't like the conflict, and they're not going to want conflict at that stage either if both of you are tired. And you're kind of going through this massive change as well. So it's always about even just dropping in, going, God, you know, I'm knackered today, or I really feel like I just want to take away tonight. I don't want to cook anything.
Yeah.
Because 9 times out of 10, he will want to provide. He will want to make you feel good. He will want to make the situation better, because men are very solution orientated. So they will want to come in with something that makes everything better. And when we don't communicate with them, it actually makes them feel not so great. And they tend to go inwards, and they feel like they're not providing, they're not giving, they're not offering something to make you feel better or to make the situation better. So it's a win-win thing when you can communicate, because you get your needs met, he gets his needs met as well, and it just brings in so much more harmony between the two of you.
Yeah, definitely.
That'd be my #1 tip.
Communication. And it's about and about staying calm as well, isn't it, when things because when you're tired and when your hormones are all over the place, it can just easily just erupt into a massive argument, can't it? Or, you know, you're not speaking, and that's not a nice environment to be in, is it, when it happens?
Yeah, absolutely. And this is why it's good to have that awareness. This is why it's good to monitor and aware how you're feeling every day as well, because sometimes there may be triggers that you're not aware of unless you kind of look back and think, oh, well, that happened, and then it happened again, and that caused an argument, you know. And it's looking at patterns. It's looking at, you know, what are the things, or what states am I in where things may lead into a negative place. It's again about articulating that with your partner. And, you know, if you have an argument or you have a falling out, it's about the communication after that as well. It's about saying, let's not do the blame game here. We're both tired, but we both love each other. We've got this wonderful baby, and we both want to help each other. How can we do that? And again, it can only come from communication. Yeah,
definitely. Oh, thank you so much. That's brilliant. And I'm sure that lady will appreciate you answering her question on the mother-in-law thing. It's always an interesting topic, that one, isn't it?
Oh, yes.
Let me just see if we have any more questions. We had lots of people join us, which is brilliant. Do drop your question before we go if you have one, and I don't need to read your name out if you prefer me not to. We've had lots of people join there. Do you want to just remind us of your social handles where we can find you?
Yeah, so you can find me on Samantha Franchis Positive. Well, you can just find me on my personal page, which is always open anyway. It's Samantha Franchis, or you can get me at Samantha Franchis Positive Parenting and Relationship Specialist, or you can find me at Create Wellness with Samantha Franchis.
Fantastic.
And that's all on Facebook. Yeah.
Fantastic. We have another question here. Oh, we have another. So, how do you know? Oh, that's the same question. Oh, right. Okay. It puts it in order. Okay. I'm not used to reading them this way. So, in the question about the normal feelings post-birth and what feelings you've had that make it postnatal depression, she then asked, yes, I feel like that. I didn't get the overwhelming feeling of love. Does that mean depression? I don't feel like I thought it would. The feeling that she doesn't feel like, you see, that's the thing, isn't it? Expectation of perfect life, baby arrives, oh, we're all happy, smiley, and I should be.
Well, this is the thing, isn't it? This is what's all in the media. This is what we see on TV. You have a baby and everybody's happy, and that's not the case sometimes. Like, you know, some mums are like, whoa, I've just had a baby. I don't even know how to feel about this, and sometimes it takes time for you to adapt to that, and you know, for some mums the feelings come in a little bit later. For some mums it can be a sign of postnatal depression, and for some mums it is just that instant, I love my baby, you know, this is my life, my world. Remember, we're all different, and we all process things differently, and we all speak different emotional languages and feel differently as well. So I would say definitely it's excellent that she's got that awareness of it. And just kind of keep an eye on what else is coming up. Like I say, maybe log a diary or a journal of some sort. Kind of keep an eye on and tracking what you're feeling and when and what's coming up and maybe what's not coming up for you. Explore it, communicate with your midwife, your doctor, your anyone close to you that you trust. And just keep an eye on it, because I'm not going to say it's not a sign of postnatal depression, but I'm not going to say it is either, because like with my first daughter, I didn't feel anything, but with, even throughout the pregnancy. But with my second daughter, it was like I had all the love for my first daughter and my second daughter rolled into one. But I was at very different stages of my life then as well, right? So I was a different person almost with each pregnancy. So definitely keep a tracker of it. I wouldn't personally, I wouldn't add extra stress onto yourself by overthinking or worrying, because that's going to create more of that feeling anyway. But just keep an awareness of it. And like I said, keep tracking how you're feeling, tracking your daily, interactions with baby and everything, and what, if anything, comes up for you. But definitely communicate it as well with someone that you trust.
Yeah, definitely. And don't forget, the lady who's asked this, at the moment we're in 7 weeks in a lockdown. Life isn't as normal as it's meant to be, and you can't go out as and do all these things. So that's an added pressure as well.
Yes.
Any tips for keeping or relighting the fire alive in your relationship during lockdown with a newborn?
Yeah, so it just goes back to the whole, create your own date nights, or create your date moments throughout the day. Physical touching is a big one as well. A lot of the time, all our attention is based on baby and what we've got to do, and very go, 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 go. Even now in lockdown, take some time out to cuddle your partner, sit on the sofa, have that physical contact as well. Take some time out to learn your different love languages and see where you're both at with that as well, and meet those needs for each other. Remember what it is you did when you first met, whether, it doesn't have to be where you went, just how you felt being around that person, because that it's likely those feelings are not gone. They've just been pushed down with everything else that life's kind of throwing at you at the minute. So just keep things, as passionate and as exciting as you can, in and out of the bedroom, keep that going between the two of you, because it creates that connection and that bonding for both of you, especially now when a lot of relationships can come out and start disconnecting. You bring yours in and keep that bond there.
Yeah, definitely. What was the love thing? What did you say before? What was that? The love?
Love languages.
Love languages. What's that?
Yeah. So if you went, I can't remember the name of the author off the top of my head, but if you go onto Google, and I say this to all of my clients, you can do a love language quiz, and they will, from the questions on the love language quiz, it will show you what you perceive love as. So you've got acts of service, physical touch, presence, and I can't remember the others that come up, but everyone that does it seems to be quite surprised by what their love language is. And why it's really good is that you can do it with your partner. So your partner can do it, you can do it, and you can actually see if you've been meeting each other's
I'm doing that this evening. I'm doing that. I'm on Google.
Do it. It's enlightening. It really is. It really, really is. And it helps to bring couples together as well, because when like, for example, if my primary love language was acts of service, that would mean that when he does stuff for me, that makes me feel loved, and that makes me feel good. So if I articulate that to him being the masculine, and he knows that, and he wants to please and he wants to serve, he will do those things as well, because he'll go, right, okay, that makes her feel loved. When you feel loved, you show more appreciation for the person. Just like if his love language was affection, you would know that, okay, I could be more affectionate with him. That makes him feel good. And then he reciprocates that energy back to you. Win-win.
That is really good. And that's an easier way of communicating, isn't it? Doing that. And, I'm going to have a look at that when the girls are in bed.
Do it.
That's brilliant. So that was love. Remind me, love.
The 5 love languages.
5 love languages.
Yeah.
I'll post it into the group afterwards. That's brilliant. Let's just see if we have any more questions. No, that's brilliant. Oh, well, thank you so much for joining us. It's been really good. And I'll update you on my 5 love languages later.
Yes.
See what the outcome of that. I'll post all your social links and everything, and I'll share this. I'll download it and share it on all our pages as well. So thank you very much for joining us, and
Oh, thank
you. Okay, take care.